Now, 3 weeks ago, I opined on this platform that the larger Mount Kenya region have actually settled on Peter Kenneth as the preferred successor to President Uhuru Kenyatta. And in that video, I gave 2 events which cleared the way for Peter Kenneth. And I'm going to put the link to that video below. And I explained those 2 events. And today I want to add the 3rd event. Let me just remind you of those 2 events. The first event was the firing or the sacking of Mwangi Kiunjuri. Why was Mwangi Kiunjuri fired in the first place? Mwangi Kiunjuri was fired to pave way for Peter Kenneth. Because by that time, Mwangi Kiunjuri was emerging as someone who had started charting his own political path away from President Uhuru Kenyatta. And he was being aided by the deputy president, William Samoei Ruto, while at the same time using government resources to move around in the larger Mount Kenya region. So he was fired. And from the time Mwangi Kiunjuri was kicked out of cabinet, you all know that that marked the end of Mwangi Kiunjuri. I've never heard Mwangi Kiunjuri again until the last time he launched his party, which actually died on arrival. And the second event was the appointment of Amos Kemunya. The appointment of Amos Kemunya as the majority leader at the National Assembly also paved way for Peter Kenneth. I know you are going to ask me why and how. This is how it paved way for Peter Kenneth. In parliamentary terms, in the larger Mount Kenya region, no senior politician or no any other politician was holding serious political office in parliament or at the Senate. President Uhuru Kenyatta then decided to kick out Eden Duale. Eden Duale was a key player within Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto's politics. So he decided to kick out Eden Duale and appointed Amos Kemunya. And by appointing Amos Kemunya, what Uhuru Kenyatta achieved was that he reduced other politicians, members of parliament from the larger Mount Kenya region to just mere members of parliament. So that today, if the president were to go to Gatundu or to go to Nyeri Central, Nyeri Town constituency or any other constituency in central Kenya, the last member of parliament who would speak is going to be Amos Kemunya. So that meant that people who were nursing ambitions of succeeding him, like Moses Kuria, like who else? Kimani Ichungwa, were now just reduced to mere members of parliament. So the president sorted out members of parliament and made Kemunya now the senior most there. And then the last event, which I didn't really explain last time, was the Anne Waiguru impeachment. Why was that impeachment even allowed to take place? Because if the president wanted to stop it at any given time, the president would have done that. But I strongly believe now that that particular impeachment was actually intended to send a message and to achieve certain political objectives. So Anne Waiguru was also emerging as the face of Mount Kenya region in the Building Bridges initiative, in the handshake and everywhere. So Anne Waiguru was also supposed to be stopped. So an impeachment motion was initiated and Anne Waiguru was kicked out. So that paved way for Peter Kenneth. And once those 3 events were successfully executed, now we remained with only one man, Peter Kenneth. And from that moment up to now, if you've been following the politics of the larger Mount Kenya region, Peter Kenneth is now emerging as a serious successor to President Uhuru Kenyatta. Just the other day, you saw Peter Kenneth. With Francis Atwoli, David Murade, and James Orengo, and Ndugu Francis Atwoli's residence. Those guys were not there to preach, or they were not there to play football. Those guys were there to chart politics and to send a message. So, in all schemes of things, Peter Kenneth is being propped up. And I'm going to explain to you the reasons. He's being propped up possibly for 2 reasons. Number 1 is Nairobi politics. The thinking is that Peter Kenneth can actually become the next governor for Nairobi. Because Nairobi is going to be negotiated on the national table. The next person who is going to be the next governor of Nairobi, it will be part of negotiations. So if that will be the case, then Peter Kenneth might be considered for that. But currently, the main reason why Peter Kenneth is being pushed or propped up is because they want Peter Kenneth to become Prime Minister under Raila Odinga. But why is this change of heart? Why Peter Kenneth? Why is Uhuru Kenyatta now keen on Peter Kenneth to succeed him as the successor? These are the reasons. Number one, the president is keen on appeasing or winning back the larger Mount Kenya region or the Kikuyus. We all know that the central Kenya and the larger Mount Kenya region voted for President Uhuru Kenyatta to the last man, not twice, not once, but 3 times. In 2012, in 2013, in 2017 August, and 2017 again in October. So they voted for President Uhuru Kenyatta. And today, President Uhuru Kenyatta is their enemy because they believe the president has actually failed. So the president is trying to win them back. And why is Peter Kenneth coming into the picture? If you look at Mount Kenya region today, they are orphans. It's only going to be this is going to be the first time where we are not going to have a serious presidential candidate from the larger Mount Kenya region. And again, the larger Mount Kenya region must plot on how they can win power again post 2022. And in 2022, they're not going to have a presidential candidate. So what the president is trying to do is going to tell them that, look here, you guys are out of power. I'm also out of power. So I want to leave Peter Kenneth with you. So it's upon you now to support this guy. And remember, during earlier this year, President Uhuru Kenyatta, while in Nakuru County, told the Kikuyu Council of Elders, whom he met at status in Nakuru, that the Kikuyus should support the Building Bridges initiative because that's where their interest will be catered for. And that interest is Peter Kenneth. So that's number one. Number two, why Uhuru Kenyatta is actually supporting Peter Kenneth is that Uhuru is going to retire. Uhuru Kenyatta has stated over 20 times that is not going and doesn't intend to continue staying in power. When elections will be called, he will go back to Gatundu. So he has stated that. And in central Kenya, there are many people who believe that Uhuru Kenyatta is going to make a comeback as the Prime Minister of the Republic of Kenya. So the president is telling everybody who cares that he doesn't have any intention whatsoever of making a comeback. He doesn't have any interest whatsoever of making a comeback as either as a president or as a prime minister. So the person is going to push is Peter Kenneth. And by pushing Peter Kenneth as the next prime minister under any other arrangement, or maybe the governor of Nairobi, he's telling the people that I'm going to stick to my legacy, the legacy of uniting the country and then handing over the leadership to someone else. So he's going to hand over the leadership, whether it's going to be Gideon Moi, whether it's going to be Raila Odinga, or whether it's going to be William Ruto, is going to hand it over. But then he's going to hand, the person is going to hand over the presidency to, is going to hand the guy also, Peter Kenneth, to the guy. So at the end of the day, the president is going to achieve that legacy of not staying in power, handing over successfully, and again arranging the succession politics in the larger Mount Kenya region. The third reason why is also going to be the third reason why Peter Kenneth is in the equation is that the president also intends to solve some internal Kikuyu politics. In Kikuyu, in central Kenya, there's this narrative that the presidency has actually revolved around Kiambu 2 times and Nyeri. And the only place where they've never had the presidency or leadership is actually in Murang'a. The last time the Murang'a almost produced a president was during Kenneth Matiba's time. So the president would want to return the favor to Murang'a people. And by this, is going to unify the people of Murang'a. And because it's going to be the first time people from Murang'a someone is going to be propelled, Kiambu is likely to support them. And Nyeri is also likely to support them, to reciprocate the support they've always offered. Remember, the person who first came up with the President Uhuru Kenyatta's presidency was John Muchuki. And when he announced that, he was dismissed. John Muchuki was then a cabinet minister in Kibaki's government. And he just made the announcement. He was the Kagema member of parliament from Murang'a County. So Uhuru would want to return the favor to the people of Murang'a. So that's why Peter Kenneth has been identified by the tycoons from that region, by the political class from the Murang'a County, as their preferred successor. You remember the other time, people who were opposed to Peter Kenneth, like Irungu Kangata, later on came and apologized and started supporting Peter Kenneth. Raila Odinga personally appealed to President Uhuru Kenyatta to appoint Peter Kenneth to the cabinet. So the president is going to use this also to solve the internal politics in central Kenya. Of course, Mwangi Kiunjuri comes from Nyeri, although he is from Laikipia, but his roots are from Nyeri. Moses Kuria comes from Kiambu. So this equation of Peter Kenneth coming from Murang'a solves all those problems. Number 4, Peter Kenneth is being fronted by tycoons from the larger Mount Kenya region. And these tycoons cannot be taken for granted. The Mount Kenya Foundation. And most tycoons from the larger Mount Kenya region comes from Murang'a. And these are the guys who have funded President Uhuru Kenyatta for a long time. They supported Kibaki. So it means when it comes to finance, these guys are willing or will be willing to avail finance to help Peter Kenneth in his campaign. And for that reason, Peter Kenneth is being propelled. And that's why the rest are currently underground. You can't see Mwangi Kiunjuri, you won't see Peter Kenneth, you won't see Moses Kuria, you won't see Anne Waiguru emerging. Even Kanini Kega, who was emerging, has now been taken down there. And of course, if you follow politics, you realize that Peter Kenneth of late has been making a lot of trips, both in central Kenya, the larger Mount Kenya region, and even outside, holding meetings with the persons A, B, and C. And lastly, is Peter Kenneth acceptability nationally. Peter Kenneth was the member of parliament for Gatanga, and the entire country were pleased with his performance. When Peter Kenneth declared that he wanted to be a presidential candidate, he contested. And of course, he couldn't because Uhuru was also running. So he was humiliated. And when Peter Kenneth now decided to run for the gubernatorial seat, which Uhuru Kenyatta actually supported him, he was locked out or rigged out, if you like, by Mike Sonko. Mike Sonko was being fronted by the deputy president William Ruto. Peter Kenneth was being fronted by President Uhuru Kenyatta. But I'm not saying Mike Sonko was rigged in. I'm saying Mike Sonko outmaneuvered Peter Kenneth. And even by that time, people believe that Peter Kenneth would have made a better president. Peter Kenneth, people call him Zongo. Most people believe he might not really possess, in quotes, the Kikuyu traits which the rest of the country have always been believed to be bad, And in central Kenya, Peter Kenneth is also acceptable. I don't think there's any region in central Kenya where Peter Kenneth can be, if it's properly packaged, can be ignored. So for those reasons, Uhuru Kenyatta and his handlers have decided that it is Peter Kenneth in 2022. And that's my take. And to all the subscribers, let me take this opportunity, guys, to thank you. I'm just amazed. You guys are amazing. You've helped me. You've helped the channel. We are hitting 96,000 by today's Wednesday. Maybe by Sunday we'll be at 76. That's huge for us. And I really just want to take opportunity to thank you guys. And the way I normally ask you guys to continue just dropping your comments. I know people like so many people always, anytime I post a video, they are always ready to comment, share the videos. I want just to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Just continue with that spirit. But I want to make a personal request to you guys. If you watch this video, just click the share button. Because if you share it, it means one thing. That someone who's never watched our videos will be able to be supplied with that video. So from there, these guys are able to, again, even share or again, subscribe to the channel. And the way tunaifanya kila siku, just do two things. Number one, give the video thumbs up if you like it, or thumbs down if you don't like it. But the best one is just to drop your comments, because from those your comments, we are able to understand what's really happening to us. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day. Bye bye.